When I fell, they laughed. They whispered behind my back like my pain was entertainment. I still remember the day I lost everything. My job, my friends, and the person I thought would stand by me. That night, I sat on the floor of my tiny apartment, surrounded by unpaid bills and unanswered messages, and wondered if this was all life had for me. I kept replaying their words in my head. She'll never make it without us. It echoed until it hurt more than silence ever could. Days turned into weeks, and my world became smaller. I stopped posting online, stopped showing up to gatherings, and stopped looking in the mirror. I was ashamed. Not because I failed, but because they saw me fail. Every smile they gave me before now felt like pity. My phone buzzed with their success stories, their promotions, their happiness, while I was drowning quietly. But one night, sitting in the darkness, I realized something. Their laughter wasn't my problem. It was my motivation. I didn't want revenge. I wanted redemption. So I started again, slowly, quietly. I took a job nobody wanted, working long hours in the rain, sometimes skipping meals just to make rent. I taught myself skills at night when the world was asleep. There were nights I cried so hard that my voice broke, but I still woke up every morning and tried again. I learned to be okay without applause, without validation. Every drop of rain that hit my skin reminded me that storms pass, and when they do, the air feels cleaner. One day, I walked past a cafe where they used to gather. The same people who mocked me. They were laughing again, but this time, I didn't feel small. I felt invisible in the best way, untouchable. Because deep down, I knew they hadn't grown, but I had. Their laughter no longer defined me. My silence did. I realized that sometimes people need to see you broken so they can feel whole. But one day you'll rise, and they won't even know how to handle it. Months later, things started to shift. The hard work began to pay off, little by little. I got promoted. I moved into a better place. I looked in the mirror one morning and didn't see pain. I saw power. My eyes weren't tired anymore. They were fierce. I wasn't the same girl who cried on the floor that night. I had rebuilt myself from ashes they thought would never move again. Then came the moment I didn't expect. I was invited to speak at an event, the same industry where they had once laughed at me. I stood on that stage, lights shining in my eyes, and when I looked into the crowd, I saw them. The same faces, the same eyes that once looked down on me, now wide with something new, respect, or maybe regret. As I spoke, I wasn't thinking about revenge or pride. I was thinking about that version of me who refused to give up when no one clapped. When the speech ended, people stood up and applauded. Their hands came together in thunderous noise, the same hands that once pointed and mocked. But this time, their claps didn't define me either. I smiled, not for them, but for myself. Because I finally understood. The world will always have something to say when you fall. They'll laugh, gossip, doubt, and watch. But when you rise, when you truly rise, their laughter becomes your background music. That night, it rained again. I walked outside after the event, heels clicking against wet pavement, hair damp from the drizzle. I looked up at the golden streetlights breaking through the storm clouds and felt peace wash over me. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't broken. I was free. I smiled to myself and whispered softly. They laughed when I fell, but they clapped when I rose. And for the first time, I didn't need anyone else to hear it. Because I knew. I didn't rise to prove them wrong. I rose to prove myself right.